Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm going to been watching the Kavanaugh hearings, of course, in the United States, and the eruption of a movement largely charged by. I see women have really gotten on their high horse, let's say, and they're going to do a lot and say a lot, and be quite disruptive, if actually not breaking the law at will. Now, in Canada, where I'm living, if a woman brings an allegation against a man with the police, that man is arrested and goes to jail. And I know because this happened to me. And I was in court twice, and the judge was all over me like a cheap suit. In Canada, we have bias in our courtrooms. The judges have their minds made up before they get there. It doesn't matter about your lawyer, your testimony, the videos, the documents. These things do not matter in Canada. We have bias. In the United States, they do not allow bias in the courtroom. There's a woman that's blindfolded, right? In Canada, she's not blindfolded. She's taking money under the table. That's how we do it in Canada. And it's coming to the United States. But unfortunately, it's starting to blow up because we're seeing the lies, the deception, and now even Taylor Swift has gotten involved. And I know a little bit about Taylor Swift as well as a person named Adele. Taylor Swift made her money on crapping on her old boyfriends. I'll put it that way. I think that's too polite to say because she was vicious in some of her songs. Vicious. Adele was no stinking different. Now that they're very rich people, they're not sure what they should write about. You see, people like Taylor Swift had a little problem. She is, her boyfriends are relatively high-profile people, good people, and she's trying to turn them into bad people. Now, in a relationship, it takes two people, right? Perhaps she is intransigent. If you're going to share your life with somebody or even some time, you have to communicate. You have to find a way to fit together. And if you can't do it, you're single for a very long time. Adele now is married. Adele is a very rich woman. And I keep looking for a new song from Adele, but she's being quiet. It takes you back to the time of The Who. Pete Townsend, the guitar player, he went off on his own, and he wrote, probably did more than one album, but I only know of one. It's called White City. This is a good indication of how things work. It fizzled, even though he spent a lot of time on it and a lot of work on it. So when he got interviewed about his album, he said, rock and roll is written by angry young men. He says, but now that I'm so goddamn rich, there's nothing to be angry about. That's fact. That is exactly how it goes. And Adele is very, very rich now, and she got married. She seems to be quite happy. Now she's not chirping. Taylor Swift is still trying to keep it alive, and we don't hear very much about Taylor Swift until the Kavanaugh hearings were over. Now all of a sudden, here she is. And who else came out of the woodwork? Lady Gaga. At the age of 19, got raped. I didn't know that. Nobody seemed to know that until now. Where did this come from? There doesn't seem to be very many details about it. I believe she said actually, well, I don't want to put words in her mouth because I'd have to look it up exactly how she put it. But you see, this is where, in particular, people whose careers are sort of mellowing out or fading away, even Robert De Niro. I can't believe Robert De Niro is talking the way he is and acting the way he is. He's an old man, of course, and his last movies were really, wow. They weren't even lukewarm. They were ugly. They were ugly. So there you go. Everybody, especially in Hollywood, it's all about me. And if I can get some traction here in the newspapers or Access Hollywood comes to talk to me or films me, that's great because I need the exposure. But if you have nothing to talk about, I mean, you just got to bring up other people's misery, I don't see how that's going to work. It might get you some spare time here, but there's always somebody coming up, especially in the entertainment industry. There's always new people coming in that door. And, you know, people like Oprah Winfrey introduces them to Mr. Weinstein. And then she's got a little problem. I mean, she'd like to run, but Oprah's got a problem. She's complicit. She's part of it. Who else is part of it? Oh, look at Matt Damon now on Saturday Night Live. Oh, he's just giving it to Trump. Oh, and Kavanaugh, he's just giving it. He's a close personal friend of Mr. Weinstein. And does he have any information that he could share about these abuses? Is there anything that he might like to add? Boy, he's being pretty quiet right now. In fact, he's moved to Australia. Now, that's a bit of a flight from Australia to America. That's a bit of a go. However, for some reason, he decided to get away from America and get away from Trump and get away from American politics, perhaps. I shouldn't really put words in his mouth, but his actions and his deeds speak for him, don't they? This is a biblical expression. By their deeds you will know them. Well, what are their deeds? We get to see these women. I mean, I've been watching on YouTube these investigative reporters going on campuses where affirmative action has certainly been in high gear, and women are teaching and advocating the destruction of men. Not just that, the mutilation of their genitals. In Canada, we have a woman who, she's now in prison, I believe, but she sliced and diced a man. She tied him up and she destroyed his genitals. She made sure he stayed conscious as long as he could, experienced as much pain as she could. And she did a lot of research online. So when the Crown finally discovered who this woman was, because she just walked out of his apartment and he was a pile of hamburger meat on the bed, she just walked away. No one could figure out who the hell this was. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they couldn't find anything. They couldn't find their ass with both hands. Finally, they find the woman, okay? So the RCMP go through her computer and they find out, oh, look at all the research she has done on torture. Look at that. So the Crown decides to charge her. You would think it would be first-degree murder, premeditated. The Crown refused to do it. Second degree. Wow. Big difference, right? But the gender is the problem. Beverly Ann McLaughlin, former top judge in Canada, she has said that we have gender bias in our courtrooms of Canada. We surely do. I've been there many times. And male judges love female lawyers. Can't get enough of them. And women come with baseless allegations. The judge is all over you. Like now the judge became the prosecutor. I've had two lawyers. Both of my lawyers are Vancouver City police officers who got their degrees, part-time courses, at the University of British Columbia. And they were police officers for many years before they decided to become a lawyer. Because, you know, listen, if you want to be a cop all that time, you got a 12-hour shift. Sitting in that car, you might have a partner with you. That partner just farted. Now you got to smell that damn thing, roll the window down. You know, and he's a smoker, or whatever it is. Goes on and on. It's better to be the lawyer, right? Nice clothes, an office. You get to go to the courtroom. You get to see the bling-bling everybody's got on. Yeah, and you get the gossip. You get all that nice, juicy information. Must be beautiful, right? And so it is, and that is why they do it. I'm going to have to run away here because I'm running out of... I'm going to do another one very shortly. I just wanted to chime in, and it's not that we're at a crossroads, but people have to stand back and take a critical view of this. They're out of control. Honest to God, you know, and I think charges are going to come out now. Charges are going to be laid in the United States, which still has a valid justice system. In Canada, we don't. In Canada, there are 45,000. I'm one of them. We have cases that the judges will not hear, and the judges of Canada will not let us speak in a courtroom because the judges of Canada have all of the rights of Canadians in their hands. In America, the rights belong to the people. Pierre Trudeau, who gave us this Charter of Rights and Freedoms, did not give it to the people. He gave it to the judges, and they have been instructed. In fact, they're employees of the government. They cannot make an order against the government of Canada. It is impossible to do in Canada. It is impossible. They can make a suggestion, but the Crown can just say, fuddle-duddle to you, pal, which has happened to me several times. The Crown owes me $5,000, stolen from me, admits it in the court. Judges are looking. The judge can't even believe this, and I'm self-represented. The judge can't believe it. There's a woman lawyer from the Department of Justice saying, Your Honor, yes, this is what happened. I'm sorry. So the judge looks at me and says, he can't believe it. He says, well, I'm going to suggest that the Crown return the money. And the woman lawyer, she looks at him, she says, thank you for the suggestion, but the Crown is never going to return Mr. Wheaton's money here. He's never going to get it. He'll be dead. Oh, you look like my daughter. This is the way the judges of Canada are. They're so desperate when it comes to women. It's unbelievable. I've been there many times. I keep looking at these old judges and what is wrong with you guys? What happened? Can't you see she just lied to you? I even pointed this out to a judge, and he questioned her, and he discovered she had lied to him. So what did he do? He didn't know what to do. He looked around, he says, Mr. Wheaton, you got to take care of your own costs here. I'm dismissing this case. You're in the wrong courtroom anyway, Mr. Wheaton. You got to be in another courtroom, and I hope to Christ I never see you again. That's how it is in Canada. I'm signing off now. You try to have some fun. I got to go. Thanks for listening. Bye.